As you may recall, the Abraham Accords were designed to broker peace in the region by normalizing relations between Israel and its Arab neighbors.
But the escalating war threatens to test the limits of the historic 2020 agreement. CBN's Matt Galka joins us now with how the Accords could play a role in this latest conflict. Matt?
Well, John and Jenna, there is still optimism that the Accords can lead to long-term stability in the region and potentially expand even as the war escalates. The Abraham Accords celebrated its third anniversary in September. The U.S. brokered treaty involving Israel, Bahrain, and the UAE set a goal for expanding diplomatic relations between Israel and Arab nations. The Biden administration continued talks between Israel and Saudi Arabia, with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu addressing the budding relationship at the UN in late September.
I believe that we are at the cusp of an even more dramatic breakthrough. An historic peace between Israel and Saudi Arabia. Such a peace will go a long way to ending the Arab-Israeli conflict. It will encourage other Arab states to normalize their relations with Israel. It will enhance the prospects of peace with the Palestinians.
3 weeks later, Hamas attacks on Israel shook the region and the world. Speaking in Saudi Arabia, Jared Kushner defended the importance of the Accords in the wake of the attacks, accusing Hamas of trying to upend the stability the Accords created.
In light of the attack, the Abraham Accords are more important than ever. Israel has to have the security to not be threatened by its neighbors and to be able to protect its citizens. That is absolutely crucial, is non-negotiable, and I do think a lot of the world agrees that that's something that should exist. The second element is that the Palestinian people have to have the opportunity to live a better life. And I think that if you go through the element, it's not just saying let's create a state, it has to be a state that can function and thrive, because if you don't create that, then the people will, again, find ways to blame other people instead of the leadership that's putting it there.
The war with Hamas has delayed normalization efforts with Saudi Arabia, one of the most influential countries in the Arab world. Former Israeli Interior Minister Ayelet Shaked says the prospect for expanded peace with Saudi Arabia remains strong.
We need to understand the reality in the Middle East. I think that currently, as we see, the process was put on hold, but I assume that after the war, we can, renew the process. And I hope that soon we will have a peace agreement with Saudi. It's an interest of the U.S., Saudi, and Israel.
The UAE became the first Arab country to directly condemn Hamas, and one official released a statement this week saying the Accords are here to stay, despite the UAE's criticism of certain Israeli military tactics. Jenna?
Matt, Iran has been a consistent destabilizer in the region. What role do they play in the Abraham Accords?
Well, Jenna, we've spoken with some senators who have toured the Middle East in the days during and after the attacks, trying to strengthen and expand the Accords in the region. Many have said that the terrorism threat Iran poses could actually be a motivating factor for other countries to join the Accords and try to harbor